Not gonna lie, I love cameras, I love gimbals, I love, you know, all my delicious gear and stuff, but at the end of the day, gear is overrated. I remember the days when I just had a little point and shoot camera. I was just walking around and, you know, taking files directly off the memory card and put it up on Facebook, and that was like the extent of my editing, you know. And then I graduated to a little camcorder and eventually to a DSLR, and you know, just like the bigger you get, like just the more things that come with it, and like I guess the more serious you want to get too, right? You get now with DSLR, you know, you have to get a microphone. I mean, anything you have to get a microphone. You know, like the result is just spending a lot of money on gear. Outside of the equipment, there's just this culture that we have. You know, I'm going to speak for North America. I'm not sure what it is over in Europe and stuff, but there's this culture of just wanting stuff. And as creatives, sometimes we get our validation from our equipment, right? Like, oh yeah, I have a bigger camera, so I feel like I can do this job, or oh, my camera's not so good, so I don't think I can do this. But nah, man, like, what the heck? Like, I think part of it is advertising. Yeah, you know, this can do this, blah 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 blah. Some of it is, you know, influencers and people saying stuff, and a lot of it is just deep inside of us, right? We're insecure and we compare ourselves to people who are better, who've been in the game longer, and then we want to be like them, and so we want to shoot with their cameras and blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, like, your gear is just so overrated. So I challenged myself in 2018 to have no major gear purchases. And that was big for me because every year since I started my business, I had either acquired a lens, a camera body, or some major, you know, support component like a drone or an audio recorder or something like that. And that, you know, it was just a major expense. So this year I said, no major purchases. I needed to start living my own advice. The only thing I was allowed to do is get little accessories that will obviously help the existing gear, or if I need to get something that could fulfill a purpose that could not be fulfilled with my existing gear. And so this year, you know, like the biggest thing I got was a pocket strobe because I wanted to do high-speed sync, and that's, if you guys don't know what that is, that's just using flash in the daytime because cameras have a sync speed, blah blah blah. We can talk about that another time. And a modifier for it to, you know, a bigger umbrella because I had an umbrella but it was too small. Everything else was just batteries, memory cards, you know, a strap to carry my camera, you know, little small things to help with production on it, but no lenses, no cameras and stuff. And it hurts because I'm like, oh my gosh, the A7 III has come out, and I was like, oh man, I want to switch to Sony. I've been thinking of switching to Sony for quite some time now. And then the Canon EOS R came out, and I was like, oh wow, like I might actually save money staying with Canon, even though I kind of want to be out of Canon right now. But anyway, that's a story for another day. And it's freeing because I'm like, whoa, I'm not like sitting here buying gear all the time. I have more money in the bank. And it's forcing me to like use what I already have to do the job. It's forcing me to collaborate more because I have to borrow stuff from other people or you know, have other people on the shoot. It's forcing me to work on my story, and I think that's very important. If you want to have some kind of presence and, you know, start creating, I would say start with what you have. You have a smartphone. People are like, with smartphones they don't do well. Well, you know, smartphones are coming out with some really good quality now, and like if your audio is tight and you do shoot in the daytime or shoot in good light, like you can get really good results. If you're trying to upgrade your camera, you know, ask yourself, have I mastered this piece of gear yet? Have I mastered my technique? Like with this, have I like used this thing so much that I'm like, it's pushed to the limits, and I'm like, I can't get more out of it. Focus on things like storytelling, focus on things like planning, focus on things like nicer locations, or you know, concepts that you want to take pictures of. Spend the money on like your production, like hiring a makeup artist, or collabing with somebody, or paying to go somewhere and shoot nicer things. The camera's not always going to give you nicer pictures. It's about where you put yourself and how you light. Focus on your attitude. Like what's your attitude? Is your attitude, oh, I'm just I go on Instagram every day and look at people who use bigger cameras than me, so I just want one? Like, or is your attitude looking for ideas and trying to copy them with what you have? Because it's possible. My clients are not going to see the difference between a crop sensor and a full frame. My clients are not going to see the difference between an f2.8 blur versus an f4 blur. Oh my gosh, like the depth of field is not deep enough. Oh, we sort of wasted our time on our videographer. No, they're gonna look at the video and see, do I look good? Do I sound good? Do all my people look and sound good? How was this thing boring to watch? Like, was the sound jarring? Like, you know, like, is it well lit? Like, that's what your clients are looking at. That's what your audience is looking at. They're not looking at like your blur and your shutter rate and all that nonsense. Like, of course, those are tools that you use to tell your story and manipulate feelings and whatnot, but use what you have. And so that being said, I'm going to start talking about you know, little small tweaks that I do. I know I mentioned it earlier. I was gonna talk about little tips and stuff, and you know, I've been doing the vlog mostly. So starting next week, I'm gonna be doing some creative tips, some clutch creativity. Bam! And so very short videos. I'm gonna try to keep them short. Work on my brevity and my conciseness, concision. What's the word? Anyways, I'm gonna keep them short. And you know, obviously, if any questions arise from those, we can talk about them offline, or we can have, you know, elaboration videos. But I want to keep them short. But I really wanted to put this video out first and just talk about how overrated gear is. Like, it's not that gear is not important. Gear is important, but it's overrated. You need your gear to work. You need your camera to fire when you click the button. You need your focus to be quick so that you can catch your moments. I get it. You need your mic to capture clean audio, or at least clean enough audio for your situation. So I get it. Gear is not unimportant. It does matter, but it's overrated. We rely on it too much for our esteem and as a gatekeeper for us to go out and create. So anyways, that's it for today's vlog. Nice and quick. I think it was nice and quick. I don't know. We'll see how the edit goes. But thank you guys. Like and subscribe, and stay tuned next week for clutch creativity that I'm gonna start, and it's probably gonna come out on Tuesday. So anyways, I'll see you for clutch creativity or the next vlog. Peace out. Bye bye.